I was just thinking about this. I kind of want to go back to the Cowboys a little bit here. First of all, shout out Ray Cano. He wanted me to talk about his Cowboys, but I didn't really want to do it. But I just saw some news that popped up, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. Dak Prescott rejected $35 million a year for 4 years. He declined that deal because he wanted $45 million a year.
Didn't he say he wanted $40 million early last year?
Yeah, I mean, but the report I read on ESPN said he's seeking $45 million per year, and my mind was just blown, man. My mind was absolutely blown.
I mean, I could see Zeke getting that contract. I could see even I think Zeke's probably it's one of their offensive linemen probably getting a contract like that. But what has Dak Prescott done while he's been at the Cowboys? I think he had one good year, and from that point on, he's been carried by a strong offensive line, strong running back core, and Amari Cooper, who you can't go wrong with.
I just don't understand, especially it's really in all sports. You see it a lot in the NBA. Sometimes you'll see it in the NHL. We saw it recently with Mitch Marner. And you'll see it with Dak Prescott. I think they franchise tagged Dak Prescott actually.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand these guys are playing the sports that they love professionally, right? They're playing in the leagues that they dreamed of being in since they were children. And they're offered contracts which are, nuts, right? Like Mitch Marner, I mean, think about it. Well, obviously the taxes in Toronto are a little bit different, but $10 million by, let's say he took a $9 million by 5-year deal. Is he still not taking bath in $1 bills? He is. He's still making all that money, but instead
he can take it in the hundreds if he wants. Honestly,
exactly.
These guys are ridiculous in my opinion. I cannot stand I would go and play in my dream league for $1,000.
Yeah, no.
If I just got a bed to sleep in on the side of the road, honestly.
Exactly. I mean,
I think the level of selfishness that you see from some of these guys. I mean, I don't know if you've heard, but Bryce Harper, he said, "Why would I cut my pay to risk playing during the coronavirus? Because it's the league you love to play in, and that's all I have." This man, he's getting. I think Bryce Harper probably has the second biggest contract in the MLB, and I think they were cutting the pay just a little bit, maybe.
Dude, he's got $320 million coming in the next 11 years.
Yeah, and this man has the audacity to say, "I'm not going to play because I don't want to risk it, and not get as much money as I would." Yeah. But he doesn't realize how. I mean, even if the MLB starts up, how good that would be for some people who are going through really tough times right now, mental health wise, how nice it might be to just turn on a baseball game or something. And the level of selfishness just
it's mind-boggling. It really is, especially I just don't even know what to say, man. How are you? I mean, and let's talk about Dallas Cowboys, Texas specifically. There's no income tax in Texas, right?
Yeah.
So $35 million, dude, that's $35 million, right? I was looking at some charts, and I'm a big NHL guy, right? So the chart was NHL. The highest paid player actually by income in the NHL is Jamie Benn, right? He's making $8.5 million, and that's his base salary, and that's the most out of any NHL player. Connor McDavid is the highest paid player at 12.5, but Edmonton has a significant salary tax, income tax. So he doesn't make as much, right? In Texas, there's no income tax. So if Dak takes a $35 million contract, he's making $35 million. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. Maybe he obviously they make up for it with sales tax and property tax, but you have $35 million in your possession. This guy, I mean, the audacity that he has to reject $35 million for 4 years, and I'm sure there's signing bonuses, I'm sure there's endorsement deals that he can sign that will make him even more rich. To reject that and ask for $10 million more dollars, oh my God, dude.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. And I feel like Jerry Jones makes a really smart move picking up Andy Dalton just to maybe razzle Dak a little bit. And honestly, with the weapons that the Cowboys have, I think Andy Dalton could even be a good fit on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I don't think Dak's doing anything special. I think one thing that he does well is he can run the ball pretty well, but besides that, the man is a joke. And I do not know why the Cowboys are holding on to him. I don't even know why the franchise tagged him. I would have just thrown him out on the street after that.
Yeah. Well,
There's so much more you could do with that much money.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you don't need a fantastic quarterback for that Cowboys team to do well. I mean, Andy Dalton could go in there. You have Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, you have CeeDee Lamb coming in. I mean, you have absolute weapons on that offense. You don't need a guy who's asking for $45 million to run your offense when you can get a guy to do it for 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's very, very nice. I mean, we've seen what a good quarterback can do. I mean, the primary example is, Tom Brady in New England, right? But Dak Prescott is not on that level, right?
Yeah.
And you can take a downgrade from Dak Prescott and still do very well with the Cowboys. Because the level of pettiness that he brings to the table is it's too much. It's too much to deal with as a professional business. It's just that.
Yeah, and honestly, I think you could put anybody behind that Cowboys offensive line and they'd have success. And the fact that Dak Prescott hasn't been able to utilize those guys like most people would be able to is just kind of sad in my opinion, because, I mean, half of their line are usually Pro Bowlers, and that's just ridiculous.
It's extremely it's just disappointing to see.